All right. We are back for a couple different stories going to cover over the next few videos. First off, we got to talk about Rasheed Broadbell. Rasheed Broadbell has been one of the more consistent, athletes for Jamaica over the past couple years, specifically when talking about athletes on the track on the men's side. Most recently, he got the bronze medal in the 110-meter hurdles at the Paris Olympic Games last year, and that really, came off a few setbacks that he had at previous championships, 2023, 2022. He wasn't able to get on the podium either of those years, but finally to get the bronze, that was a big moment for not only Rasheed, but also for the country of Jamaica as a whole. And that really kind of set off, fireworks for people who had been rooting for him for so long. But he just recently spoke with the Jamaican Gleamer, and they put out an article talking about how Broadbell wants to turn bronze into gold. So, like I said, got the bronze medal at the Paris Olympic Games last year in Paris behind Grant Holloway, as well as behind Daniel Roberts. And this came off a few years where people were really rooting for him to be in the conversation to get on the podium, but he came up just short. But let's dive into this article very quick, where it says, Paris Olympics 110-meter hurdles bronze medalist Rasheed Broadbell is aiming to move further up the podium and take gold at this year's World Championships scheduled for Tokyo, Japan in September. Already getting a taste of international gold after claiming the 2022 Commonwealth Games 110-meter hurdle title, Broadbell said he would like to capture the top medal again. So as noted, Broadbell is the 2022 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and that was his first time really tasting, level of success at the senior level. Just prior to that, though, in 2022, I think just a month prior to the Commonwealth Games, he was at the World Championships in Eugene, still young, 21 years old at that point, and he made it to the semifinals in the 110-meter hurdles. Now, coming into those World Championships, a lot of people actually thought that Broadbell had a very strong shot to make it onto the podium, to challenge the likes of, Hansel Parchment, who unfortunately got injured in the final, Grant Holloway, who of course won the gold medal, Trey Cunningham, at that point as well. He was in that conversation to potentially challenge for a medal. Prior to, I think in 2021, he actually ran 13.10 seconds in the 110-meter hurdles down in Kingston, Jamaica. At that point, he was actually still 20 years old. So you're looking at a generation of 110-meter hurdlers with Hansel Parchment, Omar McLeod, right? Ronald Levy. They had been the ones to really be holding things down in terms of podium spots, but Broadbell was entering himself into that conversation as a young and rising talent. That's why a lot of people saw him as a potential medal threat going into 2022. Now, when he only made the semifinals in Eugene, followed that up with the Commonwealth Games gold medal, people then were like, okay, that is going to translate to success in 2023. So there were a lot of expectations, I think, going into 2023. But let's circle back to the article. He says, quote, I have goals that I won't speak about because people would probably think that I'm crazy. This is interesting. I tend to see that a lot of some Jamaican athletes, they tend to keep their goals kind of really close-knit. Famously, Sharika Jackson, she doesn't like to be extremely vocal about her goals, but, seems like it kind of resonates with a lot of Jamaican athletes. But continuing on, it says, but most definitely, I want to be at the top of the podium. I should have been on top of the podium last year, given the form and shape that I was in before the games, he said. And this really is an interesting quote. I should have been on top of the podium last year, given the form and shape that I was in before the games. Now, what I find pretty interesting about this is in 2024, Rasheed Broadbell was kind of quiet for pretty much the first half of the season. I think he did run, 2 races during the indoor season, but then you're talking about March, April, May. I think he didn't run his first race until June, until the Racers Grand Prix, where he ran the 110-meter hurdles there. But he was very, very quiet. And not only that, he also didn't post on Instagram or any social updates as well. Just on his Instagram, I kind of cross-checked where he had posted December 2023. So all the way back in December is when he posted. The next time he posted was not until February 2024. So he kept, things quiet, during the winter season. But then after that, nothing until June 5th, 2024. That was a couple days after he ran at the Racers Grand Prix. He got second place in the 110-meter hurdles. And you can see in a lot of the comments, right? Welcome back. It's up now, right? A couple people saying welcome back, right? A lot of people are saying like, yo, they're getting him back into the groove because he was out for so long. He was really quiet, seemed like he was locked down and just training because we knew what had occurred over the previous 2 years in 2022 and 2023. And let's circle back to the article to get a better understanding of 2023. It says, quote, at the last World Athletics Championships in Budapest in 2023, Broadbell fell in the heats, but that's behind him, and he says his progress so far this season has been good, and this should be reflected in his performances. So Broadbell, 2023, again, remember the context I gave of 2022 when he was coming off the Commonwealth Games gold medal, coming off running sub 13 seconds in the 110-meter hurdles that year as well. He did it at the Lausanne Diamond League that year. People really thought, okay, he is going to be a strong force. Now, I think for the most part, people understand Grant Holloway is the top 110-meter hurdler, but people saw someone who was young, who was rising, who was coming off the heels of, Hansel Parchment, Omar McLeod, who had kind of laid the foundation. He could be a strong challenger. And then adding to that, in 2023 at the Jamaican Trials at the championships, he actually ran a time of 12.94 seconds. That made him one of the fastest all time in the 110-meter hurdles. That really was like, okay, he is here. He is ready, and he is going to be truly, truly competitive. But got to the World Championships in Budapest, and he unfortunately did hit that one of the hurdles in the race and was DQ'd out of the heats. And what's really interesting is I was working in the mix zone at the meet, and while Rasheed Broadbell was running, I was actually speaking with Hansel Parchment because he had just qualified through to the semifinals. I'll put a clip here.
Not so different from the others, The crowd is great. The atmosphere is great. Oh my God.
Wait, who was that? So you could see, there was shock because Hansel Parchment, he is supporting Broadbell. The Jamaican community, they have been supporting Broadbell. So to see him kind of fall down after so much success, Commonwealth Games gold, 12.99, 12.94, people really were devastated for him to hit that hurdle, but he continued on. He really did work at it, and that led to him getting a bronze medal at the Olympic Games. His first ever medal at either a World Championships or Olympic Games in 3 consecutive attempts. So, I really am proud of Broadbell, but man, 2023 was very, very devastating. But he continues here. He says, based on my progress in training right now and how my body is feeling, I know this season is going to be super great. Hopefully, I don't pick up anything to hinder me or set me back. I'm putting in the work to ensure I have the stability to keep the body going, the 24-year-old said. Continues and said he credited his progress to his new training environment after departing Elite Performance Track Club to return to his former camp, the MVP Track Club. So Broadbell, he was part of kind of a shift away from Elite Performance Track Club that a lot of athletes seem to have been making. Between Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, there's a lot of athletes who have kind of shifted away from Elite Performance Track Club and Ronaldo Walcott, but now he's back with his old coach, MVP Track Club, and seems like things are really, really going well, and he's setting himself up for success this year. Now, in 2025, it's going to be extremely challenging because the landscape of the 110-meter hurdles is very competitive. Let's not forget Hansel Parchment. Yes, he's of course in the second half of his career, but he's not. He made the Olympic final last year. He's not slowing down in any capacity. Omar McLeod, who knows? He may be trying to make a comeback. Orlando Bennett. He has been on the rise, and he made the Olympic final. He is going to be extremely competitive. And then you have athletes like Grant Holloway. You can debate, maybe he's getting closer and closer, if not already in that GOAT conversation. You're talking about Daniel Roberts, who of course got the bronze medal in 2023, got the silver medal in 2024. He's of course in that conversation. And then a ton of other guys as well. But Broadbell is very much in that conversation and fighting for a gold medal. He doesn't want that bronze anymore. But he continues on. He says, in the environment that I'm at, which is MVP Track Club, I am super happy there. So every day when you are going, it is hard work. But being there in that environment, it doesn't feel as hard. I'm happy to be doing the hard work. I'm not saying I wasn't happy before. It is just that now I'm feeling heavily motivated to get the season on the way because I know I am with one of the best in the world. He said about the Stephen Francis-led camp. Now, we all know that Stephen Francis is one of the GOAT coaches in track and field. He's had so much dominance on the men's and the women's side on the sprints and the hurdles. So I think that, Stephen Francis is going to have Rasheed Broadbell in some very good hands. We're going to see a lot of success hopefully coming his way. But finishing up the article says, Broadbell said at this point, he feels no pressure to go after what he wants, the World Athletics Championship gold. It is never any pressure. The only time I feel pressure is when I know my body is not up to where I want it to be, and I have to be able to produce my best performance, he said with complete confidence. This for me is one of the biggest takeaways because Rasheed Broadbell, considering what he's gone through, considering the setbacks that he's had, considering the expectations that Jamaicans, might have had on him to be successful, to really be able to bring home some medals, to be the kind of next up, in terms of the next generation of, 110-meter hurdlers for Jamaica. There externally might have been a lot of pressure, but for him to not feel that pressure, for him to be able to say, listen, this is easy for me, or, at least the workouts, they're tough, but it makes it feel easy for me. and not tune into that pressure, not feed into all the energy and the attention. I really do like that about Rasheed Broadbell. And it seems to be, working for him slowly but surely as he starts to, just got his first medal last year, probably going to be one of the favorites to get on the podium this year. This is really going to be a positive trajectory for Rasheed Broadbell as we look forward. Now, do I know if he's going to be able to get gold? I don't know about all that. I'm putting my money, of course, on Grant Holloway because, he is the 3-time defending world champion. He's the Olympic champion. He has all the accolades that you would want outside of the a world record. But Rasheed Broadbell, he's rising, he's coming. He's only he's turning 25 years old this year, I think. So he is very much going to be in the conversation to challenge for a gold medal. I don't know if he's going to get the gold, but very much going to be on the podium. So let me know what you think about Rasheed Broadbell. Where do you think we might see him in 2025, in 2026, 7, 28? Do we think by the time we get to 2028, he will be able to be an Olympic champion? Do you think that he'll be able to get up to a silver medal, maybe a gold, challenge Grant Holloway? I don't know about all that, but let me know what you think. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.